Hey Joe, I had a repossession placed on my credit report over a year ago. I've been trying really hard by disputing it myself. What are some strategies I can implement now to have the best chances of getting it removed? I really love this question. And the reason is, and this is why I really enjoy credit repair, is because it allows you to be really creative. Because the FCRA, or Fair Credit Reporting Act, basically states that a debt that's reported to a credit report has to be 100% complete and accurate. So what does that mean? Well, in order for a debt itself to be accurately reported to a credit report, the debt itself, when it was originated, when you took out the loan, that debt from the day you took out the loan to its current status, everything, that entire transaction has to be accurate. So I'll give you a scenario that we had for a client. We had a client, and this will allow you to kind of see why we're really creative in the way that we look at these types of situations and how we dispute them. We had a client that made a payment. He knew the exact date, but it was over 2 years ago. When the client came to us, they had a situation where 2 years prior, they were making interest-only payments. Okay? And they didn't know, but they felt like the way that those payments were applied were not principal only. Meaning they made extra payments every single month and they wanted that to go directly to principal and so that they didn't have to pay additional interest. And so what happened is they felt like, it was just a feeling. There was no accuracy behind their statement, but they felt like it wasn't being reported correctly. In fact, we started having that conversation and realized this will be a way that we can attack this account. And so what we basically said is that when we disputed it, we were saying that there was a situation that happened over 2 years ago where we had made additional payments that were not applied to principal only. And so the current balance that is shown, that is owed, is inaccurate or incorrect. That's it. And so then I asked for the last 2 years of payment history and details on that account to be sent to me so I can validate that debt. And so a normal credit repair dispute turned into, I'm now asking for documentation that I can validate that the payments were made correctly. And by doing that, kind of puts the data furnisher in kind of this area where they kind of feel a little vulnerable. They don't know how to respond to that in a lot of situations. Sometimes they're worried about, okay, if I give them this information, I'm just giving them the ammunition they're going to use against us. And sometimes they'll just delete the account so that it doesn't turn into a violation that I can actually litigate against and collect money on. And so sometimes they'll just delete the debt so that they don't have to go through that process. And that's really important because if that debt gets litigated, meaning they provide all this proof, they're basically ratting on themselves, then now they got a bigger problem if I take this to litigation. And in some cases, I will go ahead and say that up front. If you don't provide it, or if I find this is inaccurate, not only am I going to ask for this debt to be removed, I'm going to take litigation against your company because of all the pain and anguish and all that. And so when you really start looking at credit repair the way that we do, and you start getting really creative with it, it's a lot of fun. You're staying within the law. You're not asking them to do anything. You're not claiming anything false. You're just asking for them to prove that that debt is accurate. And so instead of looking at the reporting, most credit repair companies and most people that take on credit repair themselves and they want to fix their credit, they're looking at the accuracy of the reporting, not the accuracy of the debt. And when you start to change that way of looking at it, it's a game changer for you. So hopefully this helps. I know I elaborated on this question a little bit deeper, but I wanted you to really understand how we look at situations. And that's just one creative way to look at it. There's thousands of ways to look at how you dispute a debt.